Hey, Gadget Groupies, got a fun one for y'all today. This is the Merge virtual reality. This is the 360-degree Merge VR goggle headset that uses your phone to create an immersive experience for your eyeballs. As you can see, I've already pulled it out of the box because unboxing videos are terrible. Now, VR is going to be the hot thing over the next couple years. I really think that virtual reality and augmented reality are going to take the world by storm, but while we're still waiting for companies like Oculus and Razer and HTC to release their super high-end versions of VR, what we're really going to be playing with more are the solutions that are powered by our phones, where we use our phone screen in some type of headset-like cradle to display a VR experience. Now, one of the most surprising ways that VR has actually gotten into people's hands have been through Carboard-like viewers. This is the AT&T It Can Wait viewer that was sent out a little while ago for their app to try and teach people about distracted driving by creating a 360-degree immersive environment where you were sitting behind the wheel of a car. And what started out as a silly little side project has actually grown into a pretty reputable VR experience. We're seeing a number of manufacturers trying to create custom solutions still based on that Carboard software setup. And that's where Merge is entering the game with their 360-degree viewer, trying to take that Carboard setup and make something a lot nicer for you to strap to your noggin. Now, this VR headset is based a lot on that Google Cardboard aesthetic. We've got a little slot here at the front where you're going to pop your phone into. We've got lenses here where your eyeballs can look at the screen. We've got vents on both sides for speakers and headphone jacks. A little dimple right here for your schnoz. Actually, it's a pretty big dimple because you probably have a really huge nose. Actually, you know what? When I hold it this way, doesn't this look like a character from Adventure Time? We've got a nice, wide, flexible, elastic band here that's gonna wrap around the back of your head, and vents right here at the tops of the clips and the headset to do an over-the-head band to help distribute the weight of this more evenly across your skull. And then, depending on application, we actually have a pop-out port right here. You can pop this out, and this will give us access to the camera for augmented reality applications, or we can leave this completely sealed up. And I think this is a little bit nicer for when you're doing something a bit more passive, like watching a movie. And this just blocks up a little bit of the light that can leak through the sides or through this port here by the camera. The entire setup is made out of a super high quality, very thick and squishy foam-like material. Already having strapped this to my face, it's super comfortable. And because it's flexible, we don't have to worry as much about which phones are going to be compatible with a setup like this. I know some of the harder plastic ones, like there was a great viewer for the LG G3, but it was built specifically for the LG G3, which means it wasn't compatible with future phones like the LG G4. Even playing with a behemoth phone like my LG V10, it just takes a little bit of scooching to the side and you can pop that down in and it seats pretty well. You can see it's stretching at the corners here just a little bit, but this is one of the biggest phones on the market today. Considering how well this is doing stretching to accommodate the LG V10, I would have to imagine that this would do a perfectly fine job of containing phones like the iPhone 6 Plus or the Galaxy Note 5, Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. And this is an official Google Cardboard supported headset. We've got the little QR code right here. We've got the Google Cardboard app. You just line it up with this little QR code. It's gonna find it, and it's automatically going to fire up the Merge 360-degree goggles from Merge VR. Now, happily for me, because apparently my eyeballs are not the right distance apart from each other for a lot of the VR players and headsets that I've played with, are that these lenses are actually adjustable. You can slide them back and forth within this setup to really dial in exactly the focus and the fit that you would need when this thing is strapped to your face. And it's really easy to adjust when you're wearing this thing. On a lot of the older Cardboard viewers that I played with in the past, you would just sort of move this back and forth away from your face until you kind of had everything in focus. But I would always feel like I was going a little cross-eye, like I was trying to look at a magic eye or something like that. And this really helps make sure that I've got it locked in exactly where I need it to make sure everything's crystal clear. And I really like this economy of design where the buttons that you use to manipulate the lenses, to slide the lenses back and forth, also double as the buttons that you use to control elements in the Google Cardboard UI. So Merge has released a couple apps specifically for this platform that actually use both triggers at the top of the headset, and then this trigger becomes the same trigger that we would use in Google Cardboard as you're moving things around. To activate or select something, you tap once on that button, and then you're watching the video or playing the game that you want to experience. The one thing I found about this foam style construction and the way that we're trying to bolt these things onto our heads is that if you have a heavier phone, like the V10 is a behemoth, it's a monster phone, if you don't have the top head strap in place, these do start to feel like they're sliding, and that more of the weight is being laid on the top of your nose, the bridge of your nose. So cinching this in place really does help give it the balance that you would want. One of the trickiest things about this setup, though, is that when you're playing with Google Cardboard apps, one of the main gestures that they do to move you through the Google Cardboard UI is a unit tilt, where you actually have to pull the unit off of your face, and that moves you back through menus. It's sort of like the back key, which is really hard to do when you've got a 3-point strap system cinching this down on top of your head. So I hope that sometime soon, maybe a future update for Google Cardboard, that they'll address a different way that you can navigate a UI through virtual reality. It's little bursts of 360-degree video or VR gameplay. It kind of makes sense just to hold this unit in your hands. You kind of move this strap out of the way. You can completely remove the elastic strap if you want, just so that you can do that little wrist flip to move back and forth through the Google Cardboard UI. But then I also really like VR headsets for that slightly longer form. Like I mentioned before earlier, setting this up so that you feel like you're all alone in your own movie theater and you can watch a video, something a little bit longer. This is also a great setup. You throw on some headphones or you connect some Bluetooth headphones and you're completely sealed off from the rest of the world. And I suppose that means we should talk about price, as Merge VR has priced this headset out at $99.99, a penny short of $100. Now, considering the state of Google Cardboard headsets, I feel that that's probably appropriate pricing. A lot of the nicer, harder plastic cases are probably going to run in that $30 to $50 range. You can get any type of cardboard kit down around $9 to $15, but I haven't really found anything that wears as comfortably as this does, is as easy to adjust and clean. That's also a nice thing about this foam, is that it's pretty easy to clean, and does as good a job in universally supporting a bunch of different phone sizes. You guys know how I hate the "is it worth it for the monies" conversations, but at least as we compare it to the rest of the headsets that I've played with out in the market, I think that they've made a very good argument for why this is a premium option opposite their competition. Of course, the major question people will probably have to ask themselves are VR applications at a point where people can feel comfortable investing this much money in a headset solution for their phone, especially as we start moving into the future, as we look at companies like Samsung delivering on headsets built specifically for Galaxy phones at around the same price point. The Gear VR is a very well-built phone-powered VR solution, but if you're rocking an LG, an iPhone, an HTC, you probably won't be able to play ball. So folks, this has been the Merge 360-degree VR headset, a universal headset for turning your phone into a VR player. I'm actually really excited about the future prospects for where this stuff is going. We're seeing some incredible apps coming out for it, and I'm really stoked to see manufacturers taking some bigger leaps on the type of wearable experience that we can come up with. And you can find more info on this viewer by going to mergevr.com. I'll of course leave links down below this video where you can find that information or where you can shop this puppy online. They're very easily found on Amazon. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos like these, and I would not be able to continue producing on this channel if you all weren't out there supporting it, either by hitting the fan funding at the top of the screen or by shopping using my Amazon affiliate links, grabbing yourself a Loot Crate or a free audiobook from Audible, or by sharing my videos on your favorite social sites like Twitter and Reddit and Facebook or the Googles Plus. So please keep bringing more cool people to the party. Hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you all on the next review.